Ooh, oh. Alright. Get rid of the bed and the workbench in here because they don't belong in here. Oh, you know what? I could probably use this bed back here. And no, that's out of range. Fire. Ever so slightly. Um, let's, church. Feel like the church and tomb are done. Mm-mm. 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 Ah, yes, I brought over the copper. What else can we do on this build? We could put copper in the windows, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that is what we want. I'd also want to put them throughout the full window, and I don't think that'll fly on what we want. Metal bars, no. Hmm. What if I did something like this? Let me look at it from the inside. No, I don't want it shining through like that. If I did... If I did like this, then did this. There we go. I could do 2 of those. Um, oh, out of range of black marble. Okay. Try this again. We will do this one. And we'll do vertical. And that is a little too tall. Chandelier? I want want to swing from the chandelier. Right now, I'm trying to see about ways of adding black marble that makes sense. Just to give it like a little something something. And then this is going to be my tomb. Hello there, brown bear. Oh, dead little brown bear. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I wanted to keep that. That went too far back from what I wanted. Oh, front corner. I was aiming at the wrong corner. Nope. There. Yeah, right? They did used to be so hard to kill. I think this tree is a little too up on me. I'll have to plant another one next time. I'm gonna get rid of this one too. Felt like the big trees were blocking the view too much. Let's go right there, I think. How are you, Huggy Huggy Buggy? I don't know what that means, but I'm doing alright. How about you? Alright, I think what I want to do, go like this. Maybe we'll just do two. Okay, sure, Christina. That's definitely a series of words that you can say. Totally fine. I don't think any of it makes any sense, but you know, you can say it. Totally fine. Let's make the Ravager workbench so that we can put copper here. Yeah, no place in your mirror. Totally. Do I want to use ash wood for this, or will I just... No, let's try regular wood first. Um, I think that'll look fine. There we go. And then let's copy what we did on the other side. 1, 2. Oh, fill in the bottom. Missed. One, two. 1, 2. All right, and this. How expensive is that? It's only 2. Okay. Yeah, that being 2 copper, I think is fine. Um. There we go. Into the tomb. Nice. I think that'll look really cool once it's finished. Like that. And then I don't have stone over here. Oh, Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is raise stone here. Do this. Nope. This. There we go. There we go. And okay. smooth this out a little. Alright, let's do black marble stairs for this part. I need more black marble. We'll do this. There we go. Up in the cloud. Dude, so many gray dwarves, they need to just die. Trying to think about what's going to end up working well as a gravestone. Let's use this. We need to put a workbench back here. And a stone cutter. Come on. Gray doors are so annoying. They are just annoying. They're not dangerous. They don't cause any real problems. They're just so annoying. Hey, how's it going, Worshi? Yeah, it looks like my internet was having troubles last time for some reason. Oh yes, hot outside. I think it's supposed to be upper 90s today in Fahrenheit over here in California. Yeah, and the bad part about most of Europe is that you guys don't have air conditioning in most places because it was just not, you guys weren't built that way. I think like that. Um, I think we'll just do. Okay. Flat has direct access to the garden. Oh, yeah. If you've got some breezeway, that should help, right? They can pump cold water through the floor. Ooh, that's pretty interesting. Oh, I don't want that one. Do bottom. There we go. Dude, covering this roof with Grostine was rough. It was difficult to accomplish because of the weight of the Grostine. Let me change this one. Oh, don't hit the Grostine. There we go. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool if they're able to use a heat pump to pump, or I guess a water pump to pump cold water through the flooring. Um, Most of the people in America who have any pumping lines in ground is for heated floors, and primarily it's like a bathroom thing. That makes it. I don't know that I want. I was thinking like I want to have stairs here to let, anybody that would be going to fix the bell, access the bell, because that makes sense to me. But I can't think of a smart way to do the stairs that doesn't end up looking weird. Okay, what if I do this and then loop back on it? Oh, don't fall through. Oh, rotate. There we go. Go like this. Ah, that's better. Alright, there's the bell. Come on. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Perfect. I had this on the other side, so I need to run this down this side. Also, for the cosmetic symmetry of it. I think I'll probably put a torch up here. I agree. Grosstein is nice, but also one big thing with the Grosstein is just that it has so many build pieces available. Do I want to do it? Yeah, I think this will be fine. Let's do brass. Alright, so I'm trying to retain as much of the nature part over here as I can, but I'm also going to build a wall around this. You grinded ashlands to the last bit of flaw metal ore. That's a lot of grindage. Are you interested in building more in your game, or are you thinking about just, because you could always, you know, just be like, I'm done with this for now and move on to something else. There are lots of other great games too. Very interesting. I think what I'm going to do is continue this fence around. Go like that. Start it with this. Then connect it like that. See, this is gonna go downhill. Grind out that much stuff and prep for deep north. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do, really. Grosstein, actually, I think in terms of collecting Grosstein, it's actually incredibly easy. And you can make it kind of interesting using the, what do you call it? The battering ram. That makes really quick work of the different Grosstein giant boulders and whatnot that are out there. Like, such quick work, it's insane. Yeah, I used Morgan's a lot too for that and Ashwood. But a lot, like along the coast where I was working myself around the coastal area, and found that it was really easy to just take the battering ram in and smash stuff without really any effort. I don't have a stone cutter over here right now. Well, I would say figure out something that you'd like to build and then start with that, and then see whether or not you are actually interested in continuing the build process or not. Because it might be something where you start building and you go, yeah, I don't want to do this. But I would say having some of this added capabilities that I get from the various couple mods has really turned up the ability to make things look nice and, you know, do something more with them. Oh, you didn't build a single battering ram? Oh. How did you get into fortresses without a battering ram? Did you just like build stuff to climb over? I thought about that, but then once I saw the battering ram, I was like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. Yeah, that makes sense. Battering ram's fun though. Okay. Oh, I broke my tool. I think I got a workbench in the church. There we go. It's funny, I had only even thought about raising the ramps like briefly, but then I saw the battering ram and was like, let's do it. Go ahead. Yeah. Let's do this. The catapult, I found that the catapult can provide you with a ton of bronze if you use the catapult to break the spikes on the edge of the fortress. You can get tons and tons and tons of bronze that way. It's like 8 stacks of bronze around the entire perimeter of the fortresses. So if you're in need of bronze, there you go. I did that to, I think, 1 fortress, and I still have most of that bronze just because it gave so much. Yeah, I didn't realize it. I found it out on accident when I was attacking a fortress. I I ended up with scrap bronze in my pocket, and I'm like, where did this come from? You know, I didn't expect it. And then lo and behold, it turns out that the scrap bronze is available in fortresses when you break the spikes. Do that. This is going to take a lot of copper doing this, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. You tend to force the bronze windows into the middle with a door. Oh. Let me pluck these. Let me raise this a little. We're gonna do this. I'm not sure what to do for the gate. Because there's not a copper gate. I could do an ashwood door. But that doesn't strictly match. Get rid of some of these trees. Come on. Oh. I don't have rusted buff, damn it. Okay, so I think I need to get rid of this big stone here to have this be a big primary. I want to do a graveyard. I'm not sure how I'm going to make gravestones look, but I do need to flatten it out a little bit more, or at least sections of flat area for it to be more visible. Make more sense, I think. We'll have to take out the tree stump. No, I don't have any mods that add anything like that. What I might just do is use like this and just manually place pieces like that, because that like that, just like that, looks like a headstone, I think, well enough. Oh, you know what else I could do? I have a mod that lets me place sticks and stones and stuff. If I did like something like this, and then if I did something like that, oh, those are a different height. Oh my god, why is there always 1,000 of them? If I did a pile of rocks and then did that as like a headstone, I could, if I wanted to, do a sign on it, but I don't. I think just like that might be enough. I have so much random crap on me. I think I'm gonna put wood in between. Nah. Nah, I think that's fine. Let's raise you a bit. Yeah, there you go. Good job, you. I think that's wide enough. We'll put a stone on top so that I can put this one in. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to break this boulder. Hey, look, there's more guys. Yeah, I don't think I'll bother getting a mod for gravestone pieces. I think I'll probably end up finishing all of the stuff in this city before I end up finding a need for another mod, but you know, we'll see. But I definitely don't need one just for the ability to add some gravestones. Although I'm sure one exists. The shovel is a game changer for quickly altering the terrain. You don't get any resources with it, but it really makes quick work of digging out something instead of being stuck using the slow-ass pickaxe. Oh yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna plop a box over here to just drop this stuff in for now. Tedious items. Oh, yeah, a bunch of stuff I'll have to walk back to base at some point. I'm gonna bring the battering ram over for that. Damn. Let's go with this one. I like this. Hey, Decca, how's it going? Right now I'm doing the wall of what will be a cemetery. I'm doing like just like an iron fence kind of thing. I've got this is gonna be the tomb underneath the church, which goes into a troll cave. And then I'm fencing it in. And then I've got the whole church up here. Right now, I'm trying to fence it in, but the ground is being not terribly cooperative, and then of course, the absurd amount of graylings coming out of everywhere is fun. I just realized these were running into the bottom of the block instead of into the top of the block, and I couldn't walk up them. There we go. Oi. Big bump. Okay, that's better. Alright, okay, that makes more sense. And we gotta move this so that I can build the fences over here. I'm using the copper fences because I ended up with a absurd amount of copper when I went metal collecting in the Mistlands. Turns out that those bridges that are, you know, falling apart and stuff out there have a ton of metal. And I will need to get more black marble to bring over. You can take stuff away. Leave this whole stone. Take these guys. Yeah, so in Mistlands, there's the Derviger outposts, and then there's also bridges that are partially built, and then there's the partially destroyed outposts. The outposts and the partially destroyed outposts, they offer some material. It's mostly black marble. If you do the bridges, there is scrap copper that'll come from those. And I think copper bars, but you'll get a lot of iron from them. I think you get more copper from the outposts. And then in Ashlands, you can get bronze. Let me put all this stuff away. Don't need that much of those. Trophies, hides. Don't need. Keep the seeds. I don't remember if I have a junk box or not at this point. I don't. I gotta figure out if I could do something better with an obliterator. Currently out here in the middle of nowhere. Ugh. Still wish that there was more I could do with black metal. Because I've got an absurd amount of that stuff and nothing to do with it at this point. Let me go check my forage area. I've got this plant everything mod that lets me plant everything, including forage goods. So the forage friendly materials, 25 minutes till they're all regrown. Yeah, happy Father's Day to you too. Yeah, it's pretty good. I woke up to having donuts freshly purchased, and we were going to have sushi for dinner, which reminds me, we should do that tonight because the sushi place was closed last night. So we ended up getting Olive Garden instead, which is not the same. I mean, Olive Garden's okay, but it was not sushi, and that's what I wanted. So let me actually message my wife. Because I did not get the sushi that I wanted. My wife got me a couple shirts for Father's Day. This is one of them. Says the bees are happy, like when we check on the beehives in Valheim. And it's got kind of a Valheim font. The way that they've got the font for the game. Hey, Rubino. Yeah, I thought it looks pretty cool too. I feel like there was something I was gonna grab and bring over, but I don't remember now. One thing I did think about doing was fixing up some of the walkway space underneath here, because currently it's so like rugged underneath the buildings that it's really easy to get lost and like not know where I am. Oh, I don't think you've seen all this, Deca. I've been going hard on the second part of the city here, this other district. This is what I've got going so far, or just the second district. So from right to the left, we've got a tavern with a few hotel rooms, a fish and bait shop, a rare materials store, a bakery, and then the next row back, we've got a tailor and a leatherworking shop, and then the building back behind that, way up on the hills, like oddities. So I put like monster parts in it. And then the cathedral that I'm working on. This is gonna be over here. This is gonna end up being like the office of the whoever's in charge of the church, you know. I don't know what Norse mythology would have had for like a holy man in charge. You know, I was thinking when I was just coming up with the idea of putting in a church, I was remembering my I had taken art history courses back in some college classes, you know, the 15 years ago or something. And there's these structures that somebody figured out these things, and they're called flying buttresses, and they're a very particular shape, but apparently engineeringly, like in terms of the engineering of it, they add an incredible amount of structural integrity. And so these flying buttresses are basically like, they're like this shape, right? Like this. And then usually they're like that, right? So it's almost like if a person was standing up and they put their arms out to hold something and then like kind of, you know, leaned into it. So you would have, imagine that were stone and this is stone. If you had a wall, you know, like this, you'd have this other piece coming up off of the lower level. And so I was trying to think about incorporating flying buttresses, but like none of these things, like this is the closest thing design wise in the game that looks almost like a flying buttress. But I was thinking about like ways that I could incorporate some of the like real world cosmetic aspects and make it play in here, but I couldn't figure it out while also keeping the game's structural integrity happy, building a Grosstein roof instead, which also, by the way, I got another mod because I think tar roofs look too good to be such a limited item. You know, tar is not that tar is hard to get, and it's not even that time consuming of a product to get compared to some things, but tar is not infinite. So the issue that I was running into was I wanted to build with more tar, but I couldn't because there's just not enough tar to do that. And so got a mod for a tar collector, and it basically functions like the Derviger sap collector deal. You know, you plop it in place and then it'll just do its job. It'll just keep functioning. And then you come back and pick up the collected tar. The mod allowed for customization, but I wanted to keep it like fair, so I made it take like I think I made it take like an hour for it to generate a half a stack or something like that. Yeah. So the issue that I ran into was literally just I had there's three of us, right? And I wasn't the only one building in tar, but it's not like I've exhausted every amount of opportunity here, but like this entire plains, no tar. This entire plains, no tar. This entire plains, no tar. Like just insane. You can make tar blobs, but the tar blobs are expensive to make because they take the trophies of the tar monsters to make, which wouldn't be so bad if those things were a little more common. So it's not impossible to do it that route, but yeah, exactly. They don't the tar monsters don't drop enough tar to make killing them viable way to get tar. So I added this tar collector mod. So now I have a half a box of tar ready to go. So the next time I go to build somewhere, I at least have the option now to do that. And I think maybe what I'll do next is I need to do the portal hub. So maybe I'll do a portal hub next. Usually for planes at the main base. Yeah. That's pretty cool that you're able to get the blobs to add up over time. I feel like the black metal, I was so close to being like completely out. Like actually there's a couple times that I ran out of black metal because I'm doing black metal chests for all of my storage. So I ran out of black metal more than one time, but was able to replenish the stockpile incredibly easily, all because they just keep coming. They spawned at night and would come over kind of infinitely, and they would just feed me black metal. So now I've got more black metal than I can even do anything with because there's like nothing to build with it. That is, of course, true. Turning up the loot drop rate would be an option, and it might be something that I do soon. I just don't feel like I've... The only thing I feel like I've hit a wall on is, in terms of like, ugh, I don't want to have to go farm this, is Finewood and Ashwood. But I feel like Ashwood... Part of the nuisance involved with getting the Ashwood is really the amount of monsters and not anything else. Let's do this. Oh, you know what? Now that I do have tar, I was planning on building myself a house on the top of the hillside above the first district. I could do that now that I do have tar again, because I was putting off doing it because I didn't have any tar. I'll probably finish building in this district first before I go anywhere else to do anything else at this point. Okay, I'll do that. And then I need to bring some of the dirt down along the outside of the fence so that the fence isn't so low compared to the terrain around it. Want it to like taper upward away from the fence area. Oh, and I get sushi for dinner. The wife agrees. I didn't think she would disagree. Oh, good. It's going to be nighttime again. So I didn't build one yet, and I can easily still add one, and I think I'm going to. Are we thinking that the church should have like a basement and maybe some skeletons in it and maybe something that looks like a torture rack? Like, you know, churches have a history. Do we give this church a history? Because I'm thinking that we do. Yeah, so most of the structure, like when in terms of structural integrity, I can probably give every building in town a proper basement if I wanted to. And I might want to like go back and add some basement for some of the buildings, like say like the tavern, for example, or the bakery. I can think of reasons that those would have basements, right? The tavern would have more kegs probably in the basement. The bakery would have a storage for flour, maybe other materials, whatever. The church, 100%, I can imagine it having a basement. And then in terms of structural integrity, the best way to manage that, as long as I come in from the walls and make the basement smaller than the exterior footprint, then I should be perfectly fine to do that without it, you know, really hurting anything. So I could put it right here. I just need to make it more centered underneath the middle section of the area so that I'm not interfering with the wall's structural integrity. So if I go like this, say here. There, okay. I forgot that there was a copper node here before. Indiana Jones trap treasure room. That might work somewhere, but I don't think that that's for the church. I think for the church, it would be cool. In Ashlands, there's all of the skeletons, and the skeletal trophies that they offer are bits of skeleton. So like a skeleton head. Is this one not breaking? Oh, this is the back. Okay. That's the back of the troll cavern. Let's see. Floor, stone floor. There we go. So if I dig out the section underneath the black marble and the Grosstein, and then I put in stone walls along the edge of the stone, that should be good. One of the summoners is so rare you can hardly make a complete skeleton. I would say one of the trophies is more rare, but I would imagine it's the Marksman's Trophy. Although there is Warlocks, I don't remember if a Warlock has a trophy, right? Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember. I know that I remember seeing all the pieces once, but the skeletal headpiece, that if you have enough of them, you can place them in a pile. So that really gives you an option for adding some flavor if you're doing a if you're doing some kind of a torture chamber deal. I'm gonna dig a little bit more and see how deep I can possibly make this basement. Yeah, for sure. My thought was just various skeletal remains here and there. Oh. It wouldn't be me trying to build if I wasn't being interrupted by Grey Dwarves. By the buttload. Let's do another stone builder here. There we go. The only thing I'm not sure of is how I want to finish the gate. Or the fence, rather. I guess I could have the fence finish over here. No, I'll just have it finish back here. I think I'll just maybe leave this area open. I want to do the rest of the fence just to keep out some of the annoyance, some of the annoying neighbors. So I built a ward in that oddities shop that I built, and I noticed that when Grey Dwarves were throwing stuff at me, it would make the ward noise and go, you know, zhoosh, 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 like it was preventing them from damaging it. Does the ward actually prevent monster creatures from doing damage to structures, or was that just a noise that was happening because the ward was like checking whether it was, because I know it's good for PvP and blocking players from accessing stuff. Gotcha. So it was just taking damage. That's all right. Thought that would be a cool way to not have to deal with the little bit of damage that comes here and there from stupid Grey Dwarves. Okay, let me do right here. What we're gonna do is actually let me get more black marble. So I've been getting black marble over here through a bit of a shortcut. Because I've got the craft from container. This place that I'm standing right now is in range of my black marble box in my base. So I just build some of these giant ones because they take the most black marble to build. And then I throw the drops in the box so that I can have access to them. So shortcutting the mod that gives a shortcut for accessing the stuff. All right, we're gonna do this. Oh, sorry, Spill Canvas. This is a great song, but we're not listening to it right now. Okay, so I want to do an ashwood door over there, even though it doesn't make complete sense. I think that it'll look nice. Oh, you know what? Let me actually build two. Because we're going to put one for the basement door. Heaven or hell, like it's do or die. Okay, we're gonna do this. Like that. And then rotate, break that. Put this on. Like that. And then put a cube on top. There we go. That's what's up. Do some grass over here. Might need to knock out a bunch of... I'll probably... Yeah, let's do that right now, actually. Except I'm gonna need to repair the shovel in just a second. There it goes. Want to keep some of the visibility up to be able to see the church from over here, too. Slope down the hills over here. Alright. Do that. And then... let's do... this will be the one that it rotates on, I think. Like that. Oh, I forgot. Before I close this off... here, let's do this. I can put the door in. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. We'll put stairs here. Like that. We can grassify this area. And then we can make a path. That's fine. Door. We're gonna go like this. Oh. Rotate that way. Okay, so we'll go like this for now. I want to see how deep I can get this. Because I want to give it... I definitely want to give it a higher ceiling if I can. But that'll be good for now. I want to go get the... The ram thing. Ramrod? No, that's not right. Ram. Battering ram. That's the word. Oh, please fit. Yeah. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can get over this. Actually, here. All right, here we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. This is so... That's so funny. All right. Roll over here and say goodbye to this big ass stone. Watch how quick this goes. See how quick this is? And I'm not jacking up the ground either. Don't worry about my workbenches, those are fine. Oh, gotta rotate. The only hard part I've had with destroying any of these ground rocks is the vertical. But if you come at it from the correct angle, you can get it. Come on. Oh, didn't mean to break you. I don't think I can get that angle for these parts. All right. Fix you. Take this out. Yeah, so the giant Grostine boulders that are out there, because, you know, all of the big stones out there are Grostine and stone mixed. If you go break them, you'd be surprised at how quick that stuff melts. Okay, so I guess the question now is, how many variations of grave are we going to do? Because I think doing stones like this, I think that makes sense. But also at the same time, there's another option. Where we could do, say, something like this. Hold on, let me put a stone crafty thing here. Same kind of deal. Could do, you know, stones like this. And then if I wanted, I could do just like, I don't know that just dirt works though. I don't think that that, what if I did a cultivator? If I did cultivated, that looks like dirt that's been like freshly disturbed, right? So I could, or you know, it's like it's discolored in a more obvious way. Those look more like tombstones, right? Yeah, I think those look good. Let me move a crafting bench here. Oh, come rain on the let me put a box here to drop some of this heavy stuff. I still wish that I could destroy this with the hammer like any other built object. It's really annoying that wagons, battering rams, catapults have to be physically beaten down in this way. Come on. Okay. Why? Oh, that's weird. I was stuck in some kind of animation. Okay, so let me drop the terrain down a little bit here. Just to make it a little bit flatter. Let's take all of these stones real quick. So I think what I'll do is I'll make it to where we've got wooden gravestones, and then a section of the Grostine ones, because you know Grosting is more valuable, so that would be probably fewer people with the more valuable headstone. Let me pop those out and do that. Okay, so that's all kind of flattened. Um, trying to think. Probably do it kind of tiered. Yeah, I think that makes sense to if I do it kind of tiered like this. I'm gonna get rid of the bushes and little tiny trees that are here, and then I will replant them myself afterward. Once I figure out where all the graves are gonna go. This area I'm gonna just leave. Just stay as is. There we go. Okay, so let's go back through and regrass everything now that I've made it flat. And then once it's all flat, since the ground in Valheim is kind of weird, right? And it uses the north, south, east, west cardinal directions as its like straight line options. It doesn't let you do diagonal straight lines. I think what I'll do is I'll use the cultivator first to figure out where the spaces are going to be on the cultivator, and then I'll put headstones in. And then after that, I'll be able to go back in and put in tree, bush, whatever, you know, more decorative foliage. That. Killer monster, yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. Now we'll do cultivator path tool. Like that. And then... So there's the tall one. I guess we can use a mixture of these tall ones, and also I can rotate the one floor piece on its side. Let's see if I can fit. Yep, that fits at an angle. I think these will look good. Oh, I need some lighting out here. Oh, this is really creepy. You know, it's a lot of copper, but I think it's worth it. Let's do that, yeah. Let's put a black stone one underneath it. What the hell? I think I know. Let's leave words unspoken. Oh. Ah, stupid gray dwarves. Done. I don't need anyone else. Come on. Let's do this. Oh, you know what? Let's do like that, and then front. Like that. Yeah, I think I'll have to definitely shovel out more of this area so that it does a nice slope up and away instead of such a stark hillside. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make that a little bit taller. And then another one of these. And then we'll do another one of these. Come on. There we go. We'll do that. That should let me finalize this in a way that makes sense. Let's do copper off of you. Let's do stone underneath. There we go. Ah, I missed. Go like that. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. So I think what I want here is to do... Nope. That. Do this. Yeah, we're gonna go like that. Nope. Misaligned. There. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. There we go. I'm pretty happy with the fence design overall. But there we go. We'll do that. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I think overall that's pretty good. Let's do a little more lighting. And then a little more grass fill in. And then make some more graves. There we go. Find a place. No. Oh, let's do this. Shorten that a little. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll do some wooden ones, just kind of randomly. And then we'll do a couple tall ones. I don't have enough grassine on me. Oh. Ooh. Nah. If I do a top one of this. Oh, am I not in range of the forge anymore? I thought it would look like less inviting and more ominous if it kind of looked like the ceiling was coming in with these structures like that. Will, nope, the stone will not stay up there. If I want the stone to stay up there, I'm going to have to do metal poles. Is this enough space to not need to do metal poles? Yeah, I think this could be okay. Let's go with this. Okay, let's do this. I think it's just going to be one big window instead of what I was thinking about doing with a couple. No, I guess he can get a couple windows, right? The guy in charge of the church deserves a couple windows, maybe. Oh, you know what I don't know? I don't know that I have enough structural integrity to get Grosstein roof on here without having to do a bunch of metal poles. Well, we'll see. I might have to do metal poles for the supports of it. This one. Oi! Yeah, Grosstein is going to be rough on this. I might be able to pull it off by making it more horizontal. This one needs to turn the same kind of vibe. Where it's got like a, you know, a soft angle. There we go. That's better. Won't be the same, but it should be good enough. Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense that way. Could do this. I don't know. I think we'll just do regular torches for now. Let's do one of you. I'm gonna do one of you down here too. Oh, I didn't bring more Grosstein. I forgot that that's what I was walking away for. Sitting in alone. In a space of the things I will say. I need to repair the tools anyway, so I better go do that and get a rested buff. Oh, and I'll have to grab more food. I think I gotta take that tree out. Ever since I added that walkway to the second district, it seems very out of place having that tree there. Oh. I don't feel like this seat cushion is accomplishing what I wanted it to be accomplishing. Supposed to help with my hip pressing against my like sciatic nerve and stuff, but it's kind of feels like it's just not, I guess it's just not comfortable. What did I do with the extra? Oh, here, extra. I think, yeah, 15 right here. Oh. Come on, rested buff. Well, the problem is that if I'm... Problem is that I use video games as part of pain management. If I'm not playing video games, I'm not as well distracted. So it's like, it's kind of turns into one of those, like, I can do something I enjoy and be hurting myself while I do it, or I can go sit on the couch and do nothing and, you know, have maybe slightly less pain, but be mindful of it. And I'd rather, you know, I'd rather keep distracted, even if it's more of a nuisance at times to, you know, be sitting here. So it's also trying to find, there's supposed to be particular ways of sitting that help reduce the strain on that impingement in my hip. So trying various different ways of sitting to see, you know, if any of those can help reduce the pinching. Okay, I think all of those look good and make sense. We're gonna add in some foliage. Oh yeah, I know you do. Yeah, we're we're two peas in a pod in that aspect. But oh, that actually reminds me. I'm scheduled for an MRI. Okay. So I have an MRI scheduled for 4th of July, and they will check me out then to see whether or not there's any tears in the soft tissue surrounding my hip. Because the previous MRI was I guess it was like a fast MRI. It was more quick and dirty. Didn't take as high resolution as what they wanted. So they want to take some MRIs to determine whether or not there's any tears before surgery. The surgery is going to have to happen no matter what. Oh, if you guys want to see, here, this is a warning ahead of time. If you do not like x-rays and you don't like images of bones, I'm going to show something on screen. It's just an x-ray of a bone. There's no break in the bone. It's just shaped poorly because of the random luck of the draw of whatever my genetics decided to do. So there's nothing like crazy about it in terms of like broken bones. There's no grossness. There's no anything crazy about it. It's just the amount of bone growth I have versus a normal 40-year-old male. So this is the image, right? My x-ray is here on the left, and this is a normal x-ray on the right. So you can see that the bone is supposed to reach the edge of the head and then dip inward, and that makes it to where this bone in this spot right here has somewhere to go when you extend your leg directly out to your side or bending like in a sitting position, the same here. What, sweetie? Have to put in the request. Can you help her push the right button to request again? So you can see here the amount of bone growth I've got on the head of my femur and how much is supposed to not be there. So it gives you an idea of what's happening inside there. Pretty interesting stuff if you're, you know, at all interested by that kind of thing. Okay, honey, hold on. This one? Oh. Helping my kid get on her Roblox game. Okay, you should be good now. All right. Yeah, so one of those is what it is situations, but you know, just have to wait now. The wait, now it's just a waiting game. I get an MRI in a couple weeks. They're gonna MRI my hips and see if there's any tears in there. But either way, that bone has to go, because if there's no tears, it's random luck if there's no tears, because this kind of thing always turns into tears. And yeah, so part of what's happening, I don't even know how to explain it. Let me see if I can explain it. So here, let me actually log out of this real quick. Okay, so part of what's happening is, like, from the side, okay, this is the hip socket, right? Hips go up here like this, and then this is my butt. This is the cushion, and then this is the head of the femur. And when I'm in a sitting position, it's shaped like this. And because I've got this extra bone growth here, what ends up happening is this pushes in this like downward direction, which causes all of this to push downward into the tissue here. And there's underneath, there's a sciatic nerve. And so it pushes there, but it's also pinching up on the top end. So it's like a whole bunch of things all happening at the same time because of, probably a couple ounces of bone. Boy. Hey. All right. I am curious. Try something. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Uh... what am I thinking? I don't want a pile of skulls. Um... When the lights go up, I wanna watch the way you take the stage by storm. Gotta zoom in here. Okay, take all that, take all that. I think the only thing left I want to do is I'm going to put a skeleton in that, and then we can work on the creepy church basement. Oh god, it let me go real deep here. I did not realize I was going to go this deep. Bazinga, that's what she said. Alright, let's say... do this right here, that, and then wall. Really? I don't have enough stone? Okay. We'll have to bring over more stone. If you feel so empty. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get a little more stone so that I can plop tools in here real quick. Oh, I can go quite a bit bigger down here too. Start a riot. Riot. Let's start a riot. Oh, that's the back of the troll cave thing. Okay, we'll do, let's do this. We'll put workbench regular workbench right here, and a stone bench here. There we go. Okay. Get rid of that. Pretty heavy. We want skeleton parts. Oh, my freaking rested buff wore off again. That's tedious. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I will fix up the tavern to be a rested buff provider real quick. And then I will also... Hello, dear. Bazinga. I can shortcut the needing a fire for the bed thing. I can put one in the basement that will be virtually irrelevant to anything else happening. Oh, you know what? We can put a bunch of stuff in the basement that whatever doesn't work cosmetically. Comfort buff Valheim. Alright, so alright, if I want to do a rested buff for this bed, let's see. Comfort. We need a fire. A hearth provides 2, while regular fire provides 1. So let's put a hearth down here instead of a campfire. Oh, I'm not in range of a stonecutter, really? Oh, too high. That might stick through. There we go. And stone hearth. Ta-da. Okay, we've got rugs. We don't have a long or round table upstairs, I don't believe. Really? No iron nails? Interesting. I guess I made them for a boat and used them for a boat, and that was it. Let's plop a forge real quick and see if I can make some iron nails. There we go. All right. Furniture. We're going to give you a 1 round table right here. Chairs. A throne offers the most. Bone throne, black marble, stone. Bone, black marble. I don't think that makes sense in here, so we're going to just shove a throne in the basement. For beds, a dragon bed provides 2. Let's do a dragon bed. Thanks, Rubino. Have a good night. I appreciate you, man. Come on, climb. Let's do banners. Banner. Okay, banners are good. Hot tub is 2 more points, a lava lantern, and See, armor stand, we can do one in here. And I think make it look good. Maybe we'll put a full set of troll armor on it or something. Oh, actually, you know what? We can make it like a... We can make it a cloak rack. Or make it look like a cloak rack here. Let's plop another workbench real quick. And make a troll hide cloak. What a troll hide cape level 2. Sure. Still make it level 2. Alright, troll hide cloak. Boink. Okay. So a lava lantern, a maypole, and a hot tub. Okay. So a lava lantern, we're just going to put in the basement because it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the area. And a maypole, I think we're also going to stick just in the basement because it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the area. But we're going to have to dig down a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. Good job. Alright. Maypole. There you go. Now we've got a super rested buff available in the tavern. Easy peasy, George and Wheezy. Alright. So the only thing now is that there's going to be smoke under the floor from the hearth. So one fix for that might be... Does the hearth have to be lit to provide? Only provides comfort when lit. Okay. I think that's fine if there's going to end up being a little bit of smoke coming from underneath. I don't think that's too big of a deal. Or we just make it a regular fire and not make it a max comfort because it's not that big of a deal for it to be a max. Now, that's got me thinking about maypoles. I feel like that is a solid decoration that I could use in various places. I don't know. We got a good rested buff in there now, though. A good comfort level. Okay, we need to do the roof of the church guy's house. We need to do that roof, and then we can work on the basement. And then we won't be too far off of having... Oh, I forgot. I wanted to get trophies to make this a like a coffin, like an exposed coffin. Okay, well, let's do the Grosstein roof before we walk away from this area. What do we want to do for doors? Probably the tar doors, right? Not in range of a forge. One, two. Buckle my shoe. There we go. We don't need the bed and the campfire here. Yes, my dear. You have to click the request button so that I get the message and I can give you permission to play. Addison, will you point to her which one is this, Dad? Oh, that looks like a new 99 Nights in the Forest, huh? Okay, well, I got the request. You should be good now. Wish I could ring the bell. Alright, let's do the Grosstein roof. Oh god, this is very much straining it already. Okay, so I think I need metal poles for sure. Okay, let's get this here. You like my scaffolding? Pretty good scaffolding, if I do say so myself. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 to the ground. Touching, cool. Grosstein column? No, I feel like that takes away from the black marble that's right here already. Let's do this. Let's do this. Want to get rid of that for now. We're going to raise the earth back up on both sides. We're just going to let it be earth there. And then what we're going to do is just fill in black marble on this wall. I don't have enough black marble. Damn it. Yeah, we're just going to do that. I need more stone. And black marble. Alright. Stone. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Alright, black marble. What are you doing? Okay, why are you getting on Mom's computer? Okay, go play on your computer, sugar. Alright, and let's go back over here. We're gonna raise the stone up, or raise the dirt up on this. There we go. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. You know what? That's okay, actually. Alright, alright, alright. There we go. There. Now, this is like a buried tomb for sure. That's actually kind of cool, because it kind of looks like the earth is trying to take back the tomb. Let's do a fur down here. See if that doesn't end up looking too much cover. Man, I have a lot of things that I want to build. In the past, I have thought about doing a build that uses the what are they called? The large stone obelisk things in the plains. I thought it would be, and I'm sure tons of people have done this already, but I thought it'd be really cool to make a build off of one of those, like on the structure. Okay, this is gonna be awkward. Oh, geez. That is such a tall roof that way. I don't want it that tall. Almost fell down. Okay, let's do... This should be adding a ton of structure to this. Oh, that one. There we go. You're touching now. Alright. What? Okay, honey. I can't make your sister not copy you. He's copying me. Okay. Go like that. Okay, so if I do this and this, should be able to line them up from the top. Yeah. Top, that one. Relevant now. Let me put a wall. I put a wall right here. Should be able to do that. I'm just a slave. There we go. Darling, what is going on? Honestly, that never happened. Lion is your favorite passion. Oh. What if I did this? If I put a wall here. The stone poking out annoys you. You could try placing a set of stone stairs to get... Oh, you know what? That's smart. That's smart for the exposed stone right there. I just wish that there was a thinner piece of stone. The other option I could do is, because I've got this gizmo mod that lets me rotate however I want, I could go like this and do that. Because then it hides those. But I think it's not too big of a deal because this roof is so high. I don't think I'm gonna see very much of the top of it anyways. Alright, so do that, and then... do this. And then I'm going to do the inverse of it. Yeah, that's one of... So, that stair thing is one of those things where I wish that they just had more pieces available to us to build with. Because it would be great if we had, you know, thin stairs. I'm not a fan of these types of stairs, right? The big terrible stepping option is lame in my opinion. I wish that these stairs you could climb easily instead of it being like that. But also, if you build a stair this narrow and you use the snap points, look, you can't even fit. You can't even fit. So it's like, what is... I'm using the built-in snap points, and it's... I wish that they would make an adjustment to the snap points that made sense enough, or if they made those sets of stairs slightly wider, and then like these stairs, they're good in some situations, but I wish that they had a middle snap point, because if you look at these like this, these stairs are perfect. They're just wide enough to be 2 players wide. They look better this way, in my opinion. But if you did them double wide, it's like, why are these stairs so big? They shouldn't be this big. So I wish that there was more choices. And a lot of the build stuff. That she's somehow watching me. Ashwood, I appreciate. They did offer us a lot more. You know, this is a functional stair the way that I was saying I wanted them to do, but we still end up having the same dilemma with the snap points. If you use the snap points provided on the stair, it's too narrow and you can't fit through it. So it's like, there's some stuff that just doesn't make sense. We're gonna do this. All right. He's gonna have table in here. Need some fine wood. He's gonna do a table and 2 chairs and a lox rug. Yeah, well, hopefully 1.0 offers some more stuff to us, you know? Secret side of me. Can't control that. Alright. Alright, so dude in charge of the church gets his room. I need a workbench to use the shovel. Great. Oh no, I have a mod for torches. Torches Eternal or something like that. My thing very much was getting resin is easy. It's no big deal. But having to go refill torches is just a job that shouldn't exist. I understand why they added it to the game. And I understand, like, I'm here for it in the early part. But the fact that, like, you can't pay more resources later on to have an ever-burning torch, but that some light sources are eternal, it doesn't make sense to me. I am a fan of things, mundane and monotonous things, getting easier as you progress the game. So the fact that it doesn't, torches don't get easier as the days go on. Every torch in here, torch, requires refilling, but if you do use a wisp torch, it doesn't. And if you use some of the other things, it doesn't. So it's like, yeah. So it's rough that some of the stuff just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Which is why... What? There's a campfire directly underneath. Really? Is it not in range? Okay. We'll put the campfire over here. Yeah, I mean, I really hope that with 1.0 there is enough change that we're like, ooh, yeah, look at all the great things they did for us in terms of building structures and whatnot. Oh, I missed a call from my dad this morning. I did not realize. Just 1 second. Send him a text and see what is up. Yeah, I think that the other resin only uses, or is only used in pottery. So that could be a source, but I would rather... Okay. So here's... Ooh. It's a lot to explain. So this is my thought. Every tier of the game, every new tier, should give you an opportunity to improve or make easy the previous tier of content. Hold on, my dad is actually calling, so 1 second. My dad does not fully understand technology, so he was asking how Amazon Fire Sticks work. Okay, so my thought is that with not just Valheim, but crafting games in general, every tier that you make of progress should always come with the benefit of improving the previous tier in some way, shape, or form. So we've got meadows, for example, right? Where we started the meadows. And we have no bronze, we've got some limited tools. In my opinion, there should be a stick-based, like a wood-based cultivating tool. You know, like a simple hoe or something, right? Call it a simple hoe. But have it do, or a wooden cultivator, but have it do the basics of farming and let you spend a little more time in the meadow stage. I think that once you get to, say, the swamps stage, the raspberries, you should be able to learn how to turn 50 raspberries into one raspberry bush seed, and then be able to plant a raspberry bush once you're in that later stage. And then the next stage, once you're in the plains, you can do blueberries. And then the same kind of thing for mushrooms. You should be able to do mushrooms, but I think that maybe they can add an addendum to mushrooms that they have to be planted on dirt, and you know, they have to be open to the sky or something, non-cultivated ground, whatever. Like, they could add addendums to make it, you know, take extra. But if they had a tool of every kind for each phase of the game, you could have access to different things based on those phases. Right now, I'm at that end game, right? By now, I should have access to torches that never run out. Even if that means, say, using the special resin from Ashlands, or using a large amount of resin to make something that lets you do that. Whatever. I think that that makes sense. I think that more of the items that are in the game should by default go into item frames so that you can do more to decorate. It'd be great if they could figure out a functional way to make the game less laggy when you want to decorate more, because having your frame rates drop so drastically kind of sucks. I don't know enough about the programming to know what they may or may not be capable of doing in all of that. But like, say Minecraft, for example, if you throw blocks on the ground and they are a pick-upable block, it causes the game to potentially have more lag because it's, you know, trying to register these items that are capable of being picked up. And if you wanted to not make it lag, you would pick up the items, right? But also, the game doesn't generate lag based on built structures in Minecraft. It only generates lag based off of entity type objects in the world. Now, I know that there's some programming that goes into Valheim that controls how, like, because it has structural integrity and Minecraft doesn't. Minecraft doesn't have to calculate structural integrity basically ever, right? It only has to calculate gravity for certain blocks. So it's a bit different, but it's, I feel like it's something that they could easily remedy in some way, shape, or form where, you know, it only recalculates so often and it only does it if a block is changing durability or something, you know? I feel like they could make improvements to that stuff. But also, they could have already planned improvements and have them, you know, ready to go. And we just don't know about it yet because it's going to come with 1.0. Maybe they're working on perfecting it. I don't know. Oh, I just remembered we have volleyball tonight, and I do need to get some stuff done around the house today as part of the cleanup. I'm trying to task myself with getting some stuff done every day that I want or need done before I have surgery. Because when I have surgery on my hip, it's going to be 6 weeks of crutches, where I'm going to be very limited in my ability to get around and do literally anything. And then after 6 weeks of crutches, it's going to just be general limitations on my ability to get around. What did I do with the candle wicks? I thought I brought some candle wicks over. Did I drop them in a box? Oh. Oh. No, no, no. Alright, so one thing I do want to do is add a few candles here and there. They don't do a whole lot for lighting, but cosmetically, I think that candles are way better than the regular torch. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do here is make a railing. Oh, this is a steep one. Go like that, like that. And we're gonna do this and this. And we're gonna do this. There we go. That's got a nice vibe to it, I think. I think that's a good vibe. Oh, I want to do one more candle here for whoever was digging into this grave. I think we'll want to do some Grosstein or something here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do, I don't have any more iron in range. Yeah, it's 12:30. I still got time. Fine. My kid's birthday party is in a couple weeks, which is also a reason that I need to do some things around the house. Make sure that stuff is ready for the party. Oh yeah. Stonecutter. Go like this. Yep, we're gonna do this. The black marble, I think, actually ends up making the most sense out of all of the blocks in terms of the math involved. The small one is 2, this one is 4, but this one's 4. Why did that? Okay, that doesn't make the most sense. Never mind, I was wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna put these couple pieces in and then hop off here in 2 minutes. Get some housework done. I think I'll do Grosstein for this, honestly. Just make it a corner. Come on. There we go. No, no, don't fall down, don't fall down. There we go. Pick that up the rest of the way and then do this bottom one. Oh. There we go. Then this black marble piece. Alright, Worshi, you have fun figuring out what you want to build, or if you want to just collect a bunch of resources before Deep North is ready. There we go. I think that definitely adds to it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that so far. Okay. I want to real quick update my sort of task list that I've had going over there. Let me drop all this stuff in here. Actually, let's take all of this stuff and dump it in a box over here. All. Dump, dump. Dump. Dump, dump, dump. Dump, 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 dump. You know. Okay. Let's get rid of the signs for things that we've completed. Let's just make it about what we're gonna do. Military base. Church basement. Butcher. Apothecary. Yeah. Restaurant. Yeah. I think those make sense. I'm not sure what else, if anything. But we've definitely already taken up a bunch of space from the other things. I do another flyby recording in the morning. Ugh. Okay. All right, we're gonna do a flyby of the ocean front area. Boom. Oh, how many hours have I been playing? Oh. So, Valheim itself, I've got like 1,700 hours in. But there's an asterisk to that because I do let my character AFK at a stone farm. I use a Grey Dwarf nest as a stone farm. I don't know if you've seen those before, but the Grey Dwarfs spawn and then die, and spawn and then die. So it's a bunch of free stone for me indefinitely. Stone and wood and resin. So I've got a lot of hours that are definitely AFK there doing that. But this world we've been in for, I think, 4 months is what I figured out. Hold on, I can look back. I want to check. I have messages with my friend from when we started playing. Oh, that's forever ago. Okay, yeah, so February. I started this world in around February. And so this whole area that we're looking at right here, I've only been building on that for the last couple weeks. Before this section, I had done the previous district that is not quite as large, but it's more finished, I guess. It took me longer because it was starting from nothing. How many people on my server usually? Honestly, it's been me 99% of the time anyone is on. It's me by myself. So it's me and two buddies that started the game in February. Not started the game, but started this world. Um, I played a bunch in the first week, and then I started playing Tarkov again. So I kind of laid off of Valheim and just did a little bit here and there. And then my two buddies, they logged on and they started grinding away. And so once I saw that they were playing, I played more. But the two of them had a nearly identical play schedule where mine was more sporadic and random. So I played when I could, they played when they could. So they built together, lived together. And the only thing that I've done with them is a boss kill and maybe the occasional, dungeon or exploration. But it's been pretty rare that I'm actually running around with them. We've had a lot of times that we are both, or all three of us, are on the server at the same time, but they're doing something, I'm doing something separate. So there's been a lot of that time that those have happened, but yeah, it's been mostly me. They both basically, once we got to Ashlands, one of the guys was like kind of, fading. And then when the other guy went on vacation, the other guy here, he basically started playing something else in that off time. And so since then, in the last few weeks, it's been 99% just me. Yeah, we're all doing our own thing. The two guys were working together on a build structure, so now the one is taking over on building. But he's like early morning kind of vibes, and then sometimes in the afternoon after work he'll get on. Where I'm like mid morning, 8:30, 9 a.m. my time, and he's already off and at work. And then I'm usually off before he gets back on, and then I'm making dinner and all that stuff. And if I get on the evening, he's already in bed by the time I get back on because I might do some late night stuff. So is what it is. But he's got a whole build that he's been working on. So I'll check every once in a while and see what his progress has been like. Yeah, so this area that we're having the camera run past right here, this is all the stuff that I've built just in the last few weeks. And then I've got a whole other district back behind the camera here that is where I started in this build, because we started 4 months ago. So I was in the meadows like they were, and I was literally in the same property as them. Like I could shoot an arrow and hit their house. I was close enough to do that. And then I was like, I want more than just a little house. So I went to go build big, and I took over an island that was a Black Forest Island and started working there. And I realized that I kind of screwed myself. I was like, I'm going to build in this circular building and it'll be great. But I was like in the swamps at the time. So like I'm building this stone circular building, and then I got a blast furnace, and I'm like, well, crap, I don't have space for a blast furnace. And then I got, all these additions to the cauldron and all these additions to the workbench. And then I got the dragon, the artisan bench. And it's like, I don't have space for all this. So like I just added to that circular building, I just added a half a circle building that like intersected with it, and like I'm like shoving tools in there, and then I add another one, and I'm like, okay, blacksmithing stuff, go there. I could not fathom a good way to make it all fit, and I kept finding that I would use a portal. I'd go exploring, I'd set up a portal, and then when I go to bring items back, I'm like, grr, I have to do this whole like run through here, around here, drop down, go around this way. And it was so tedious, especially when overweight, coming back with like a bunch of stone or something, you know? It was tedious. So I'm like, I'm gonna go build somewhere new. And I think I think I had barely started exploring the Mistlands, and my buddy that plays still a little bit here and there, he was like, I've come to realize the best place to build a base is where you have a border between Mistlands and Plains. And if there's other stuff, cool, whatever, doesn't matter. But if you have those two things, you can plant every resource in the game and you're good to go. And it's like, holy crap, that makes so much sense. So he helped find this place for me that is, it just happened to be a strip of plains, Mistlands on one side and Black Forest on the other side. So I came into the plains and started building. And I'll show you when this recording is done, when this flyby recording is done. But I built a basement. My plan was, I'm going to make a basement that even if it doesn't look good, it's going to have everything I need inside of it. And the point of it will not be to look good. The point of it will be minimalism and functionality. Just get every important object that's necessary, every workbench, all of the things, just make it minimalist, but everything I need. And so I ended up building a section, and then I covered it with stone flooring, the stone floor pieces. Covered it with that, and then I raised dirt all around it, and I'm like, okay, now I have a basement. Now what do I do? And I built, I'll show you the other stuff I built in just a second. I built a mage's tower with an apothecary on the first floor, and the mage's like living quarters / experiment space on the top floor. A outside open air market that's like kind of like a farmer's market or something of that sort, with a food area and whatnot. A blacksmith shop that's got a mixture of various armor sets and weaponry. There's a couple towers that are the chicken farms that are just there. I built a like military outpost. I've got a farm, a farmer's shack. I made a tower for boars to do a boar farm. And then I've got a pit with locks and ascovins in there. And then I've got like a kind of like semi-grand dining hall type space. But I definitely have more ideas and thoughts and plans that I intend on bringing together. It's just a matter of eventuality. I figure like I've got 2.5 months before the next update, right? So I've got some time that I can kind of do whatever I want with in Valheim. So what I've been working on here is what I call District 2. I've got a tavern. I've not filled out the tables yet with food and drink. I figured I'd get to that eventually. Fine wood's kind of a pain. I might up the drop rate of items just to make farming fine wood less annoying. This is the fisherman's quarters, or the fisherman's shop. So I've got a mixture of bait material and various fish. All of the shops, I put an upstairs space where they have access to a table and chair for eating and drinking, and then a bed for them to live in. And then I've got a back door out of each of the buildings, and I've got a side alley pretty much for all of them. And then main walkways. This one I called Rarity. And this has got just a bunch of rare objects in it. It'll be, you know, some jewelry and then gemstones. I put the celebration horn in here. This place also got a sort of safe, right? And then again, another living quarters upstairs. All of the living quarters are very basic like this. Back doors out the back. Little side walkways for alleys. This is the bakery. So they've got all the baked goods in here on the rack ready to go. And then they've got, you know, a viewable space for you to see the baker. And then the church is up here that I have not finished. This is the most recent thing I've been working on. I was trying to go a little bit more grand than the rest of the second district. I'm undecided if I want to do more or not in here. I think I'll add some potted plants, but I'm not sure what else I might want to do in here. And then this would be the whoever's in charge, priest or whatever. That'd be their quarters. And then this would be the graveyard that I just built over the last couple hours. The 3 hours of stream. So I put a mixture of different headstones, tall ones, short ones, and wooden ones throughout this area. And then this one is one that somebody got into. I thought would be pretty interesting. I might actually want to put a shovel in here in an item frame just so that it looks like someone was getting into it. What is EV to Alt 1. See if I can put the shovel here. It does not look like it counts the shovel. I might pick an antler pickaxe or something. And then over here, get rid of these now. Over here is the crypt. So this would be like the tomb or mausoleum type thing, and it just goes into a troll cave that there's really nothing in. I might have to find a mod that lets me build inside of the troll cave. The basement, I only barely started. I have not finished, but I'm going to put like piles of bones and stuff in here and maybe like a torture rack of some kind and try and dress it up like the church, you know, had some other stuff going on the side. Ruh-roh. I still have a lot more buildings that I'm planning for the second district that I haven't gotten to yet. This is the leatherworkers shop. Pick the mushrooms and whatnot. So the leatherworking shop has got all of the armors on display, as well as a bunch of leathers on display, and just racks of different leathers, different cloaks that are on display, the different hides back here where they'd be doing their work. And then, you know, got a knife on the table, of course, as getting his stuff, having himself ready on doing work. And again, another living space upstairs. And then this one is the tailor's shop. So inside here, they've got the more cloth-based thing. So this is just the rags. And then I put the decorative hats here. And then a bunch of materials, the linen cloths, the different decorative rugs and whatnot that they can make. And then again, another little simple living quarters upstairs. To help hide the back of the buildings, I was doing this vine work going around the backs so that it's less noticeable to the, you know, not fancy looking backside of things. Put a... Huh? Where are you going? Oh, okay. Wife is going to the dentist. I completely forgot that she had the dentist, but that's fine. A lot of the shops have a basement door, but it's not actually a basement. I may or may not give them basements. It's actually just underground pathing that goes underneath all of the stone roads that leads back to my actual basement, where I do like where all the actual stuff is. Up here, I made a shop called Oddities, and I filled the windows with knickknacks of monster products. Hey kid, did you eat lunch? Okay, bye. Go eat lunch. All right, so I filled the shop with all the oddities of different things, and then gave this guy also a special place for storage. And then this one, I gave actually a special second floor where I was like, gonna give this dude a balcony so that he can look out over everything, since they've got this, you know, more special viewing angle. Over here, I intend on adding, I don't know what I would call it other than like Blacksmith's Row or something, where I intend on adding like a forge and furnace and blacksmith bench and like all of the machinery in a covered area, or all the workbench stuff in a covered area, and then have an armorsmith shop, a weaponsmith shop, and a bowyer and arrow maker. I want to put all of that kind of interconnected. And then in here, here's my locks pit with my asks also. This is all part of what I call District 1. In here would be my semi-automatic boar farm, where I feed the parent boars upstairs. I drop them food, and then they breed and, you know, produce my babies that drop down below that walk into pufferfish. This is just a farm shack where he's got various work tools that you'd expect, and then some seeds stored up. And then I've got the farm fully filled out with various crops. I built a very large wall structure surrounding the area to keep all the monsters out, since I am on the edge of Mistlands. I was pretty constantly having seekers show up. That was kind of annoying. And then always with the freaking fallings, those dudes were constant. Okay, over here is my like open air market with a bunch of different vendors. So this is like a fine goods vendor, right? Rare items. So some gemstone stuff. He's got a treasure chest back there. This is baked goods, some flour in the back, and then all of the various baked goods out on display. This is like the raw materials, like vegetables and foraged goods. This is literally just a soup stand. All of the places that people could be sitting and eating. And then this would be the leatherworker shop, where he's got leathers on display. And then this is the fisherman's little spot. Fishing pole, harpoon, various knickknacks. And then this is just like a skywalk that can get you on the wall. And then, of course, up the wall, I've got my sap extractors that I need to pull the sap from on occasion. I built a dragon, you know, because dragons are important to have. I started decorating the wall, but I realized I was going to need to farm a bunch of corewood. And since District 2 is inside the Black Forest, I was going to kind of like two birds with one stone for it. The vial. He can stay over there, that's fine. Over here is my ocean boardwalk. So from the outside, you can see I've got this lower section below. It's illuminated and kind of fancy looking. Leads around the whole area from District 1 to District 2. And then I've got the boats over here that I think need repairing. And then a lighthouse. I wish I could have some big massive spotlights that shoot out of it, but it's not a choice. So for the lighthouse, I left it kind of rugged because I thought with how tall it is, I think it deserved keeping the visual of like what went into making it this tall. And then this is just like the lighthouse keeper's kind of basic area, you know, his like living quarters. And then there's the lighthouse. That over there is the military outpost that's inside this district. This is what you would see if you boated into my city. This is what the entrance is like. So you head upstairs and you find the dining hall. Big buffet of food, right? And then in here is the kitchen where they prepare all the food. So fully set up kitchen with all the knickknacks and decorations. And then if you leave the dining hall, you can go out to that open air market. You can go to the various places, or you can check out the blacksmith shop in this area. So bunch of stuff on display. And then some raw metals out. He was working on this sword recently. Tools and different stuff on display. And then you can go out the back door and you can see the outpost up here. Couple different ways up. I've got vines growing on everything because that's the vibe I went for on this one. So if you go up here, you can see I've got ballistas on the corner. I think I needed more iron and I was not able to finish the ballistas. I need to do more up there, but you can see all of this makes sense from a war building perspective, right? Like this is just an outpost. So yeah, I need to put more ballistas here. That'd be more springs and Yggdrasil wood that I don't have. And then if you go upstairs further, you will find the living quarters. Oh, forgot about him. So living quarters, and then this would be the officer's office and living space. And if you go up further, you've got observation posts up here to be able to walk the border. If it wasn't so foggy right now, you'd be able to see more. And then a second like overflow living quarters for maybe the lower ranking people. And then I've got a forage farm over here that's multi-tiered. So all of the foraged goods that you might want, mushrooms and cloudberries and thistles and all of those things, they're all over here in a, you know, ready to go kind of space where I can grab a decent amount of stuff in one easy grab. And that is everything except the basement. And so the basement, we've actually seen the entrance to several different times. There's one right here. There's one entrance to the basement. And then there's another entrance down here. If you look at the sewer, here is the sewer grate right here, the drainage. So as you can see, that's an entrance through the sewer grating. And then also, we've got another entrance by the farm. You can go under the bridge here if you wanted to. Nothing down here though. But right here, another entrance to the basement. And then we've got one more right here. And then the back side of the leatherworkers section. That goes to the basement. And then the blacksmith has access to the basement. And then if you were a visitor and you came in this building and you thought, okay, I could either take the ocean boardwalk or I can go upstairs, you would be mistaken, because there's also basement access here. And ooh, finally, I think this is the last place to show you. This is the apothecary shop. He's got all of the knickknacks that you would need to make potions, as well as a bunch of potions available for sale. And then all of the stuff he uses to make the potions. And then upstairs, you'll find that the apothecary, smell from the swamp. The apothecary has his own motives. So you see all the banners are black now up here, because he has his own things in mind. He is dabbling in dark arts, which is why he's got piles of bones, and he's got skeleton heads and ghost heads and the trophy of a wraith. So he's got his own plans up here. And then the very last entrance to the basement. Let's say you were checking on the locks of the area and you're like, oh wow, we've got locks and asks over here. Well, you can also get to the basement there through that hidden access point. And then over here, we've got more drainage. Basement. This goes to the second, District 2. So this hidden in here. So portal room, nothing decorative happened here yet. I have ideas, but I was not excited about doing them, so I'm waiting. This is just my maximum comfort bedroom. I think I get 15 comfort when I'm in here. And then all of the stuff that I need. So I've got storage in here. And then all of the different workbenches and tools, all of the different things that I would need access to for building. I've got metal stored here. I've got blast furnaces. Down here, I've got my E-tier refinery with the black marble safety room. This gets you out to the ocean if you wanted to walk underneath the ocean boardwalk. All of the stuff that you need in here. I also was trying to work on extending the comfort level in here. And then, yeah, all of the crafting supplies that are needed, everything's down here. So everything's easy access down here to be able to get what you need. And put all this stuff away. Yep. And then more meats. And flour. Yeah, so the big thing I did down here to help my minimalism is I hid everything under the flooring. So if you look, I'll use my my flyby camera to show you. If you look under the flooring, you can see all of the workbench improvement components, cauldron improvement components, forge improvement, and black forge. So it's all underneath for the most part where the various workbenches are. And so yeah, that does it all. And then I've got a semi-automatic just feed them chicken farm here for eggs. And then I've got one here for chicken meat and feathers. And then if I go through here, that gives you access to the other part of the underground stuff. Let me put this on the wall actually to... I don't know why I didn't ever put this here when I had intended to. There we go. Yeah, and so I've got access points to all these different areas to be able to get up and out if I wanted to. Yeah, so that's it. That's the basement with all of the supplies and necessary things down here to do all the work, and everything outside of this basement is 100% cosmetic and unnecessary and doesn't need to exist and is literally just there because I like it. But that's going to be it for me. I need to hop off and have some lunch and do some real life things. Oh, I appreciate everybody. You guys are awesome. If you haven't been here for all of the adventures, I am slowly but surely getting everything up on YouTube. I'm keeping the episodes short and sweet and trying to keep them relevant. So a lot of building stuff, because that's what I'm doing most of my time is building. So check out the YouTube channel to see stuff there, and then I'm also constantly putting up shorts from stream or from Valheim stuff, or Escape from Tarkov if you're interested in that. All of the YouTube shorts, or Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, I'm putting everything on all the platforms to try and reach as many people as possible. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you coming through, hanging out, and I will see you guys